What a hard game. Just both teams, I thought, just defended like crazy and just competed. We both know each other so well. Just a ton of respect, I think, between the two programs for how you do things. And their kids play really hard. I thought our kids played incredibly hard. I thought both teams, you know, it's not easy to defend like that sometimes when you're not scoring and you don't get any juice off your offense to sustain that kind of defense. Takes a lot of will, and our guys had that today. And certainly the end of the game was big time. PJ made a heck of a shot late, squirreled one in. I thought he was fantastic all game, just playing with confidence and just positive energy for our team. And then Hunter Tyson, same thing in every huddle. He was just, you know, challenging our team and each other, and it was just, we just had good spirit throughout the day, and I'm just pleased and really happy for him to make a huge shot like that. That was big time. So this is a great win. We'll thank our crowd. I think our crowd, you know, certainly was a big factor in the win. If we don't have a great crowd tonight, we may not get through it. And so shout out to them and thank them for helping us win a hard-fought game today. Questions?
What was the plan just to get him the ball and let him put a buzzer you want that three, and then what
Yeah.
was the confidence in really, you know,
Just, I mean, he's one of our best players, and he's been in it, and I just felt like he was going to make a play today. Yeah, he had the option. He could shoot the three, he could drive, he could throw it to PJ, he could do different things. But I told him, I said, if you're open, shoot it, you know, and a guy may run at you, shot fake. If he's running at you, you're going to have poise and time and space to just, you know, make the right basketball play. And we just talk about that a lot as a team, is just read the game, make the right basketball play. And it was a big-time shot.
It looked like you were trying to calm them down in the timeout afterwards, saying, hey, they still
Yeah,
have a shot here.
yeah. There's a lot of time left, you know, enough that they could run, and they ran a great action. You know, they didn't just come down in high ball screen, they ran some action, and it was hard to guard. They got a great shot and could have made it, you know, and that's what some of this is. You got to be a little bit lucky, right? Obviously, we were extremely unlucky in the tournament last year when they hit one against us. But we were a little lucky today with the one that they missed, and then the squirrel for the board, all those kinds of things. But, you know, again, I'm really proud of our kids for fighting. It's not easy. You know, you're playing without a couple good players. We're trying to piecemeal it a little bit on the sideline. You know, we got different lineups that haven't practiced a lot together. Obviously, we practiced a few more things this game than we had for Wake Forest. I think Dylan and Chauncey Wiggins were outstanding defensively in the second half. Certainly Dylan's defense gave us a spark, a couple big baskets. I thought Chauncey's length was good, and he did a nice job of being able to, we did some more switching with him in the lineup, and I thought that was good for us. So those two kids, just pleased with the way they played in a tough game.
Coach, you were able to score enough to win at Wake without Chase, but is Virginia Tech just that much better defensively?
It's just a different game, right? It's just like every game takes on different personality. Wake plays, you know, they're pushing on every make. We actually pushed the ball some in that game more and played with more tempo, you know, and so the game, we knew the game was going to be a little more scoring. This game, they don't push it on makes. They get into their stuff. You know, they show great discipline running their stuff. They don't take many bad shots unless you get them late into a clock. And so it's just a different kind of game, right? And I think that's one thing about our league that, you know, can be different than some of the other leagues, and maybe one of the reasons why we have success in the tournament, our teams do, is there's a lot of different styles. And so this was a little bit of a different style. We knew this was going to be a, you know, rock'em sock'em blue collar win if you're going to win it. I told our guys that this morning, and right before the game, you better be ready to guard and sustain defensively, because that's what it's going to take today.
Right. What's Chase's status going forward?
Day to day, yeah, day to day. I don't know how he'll do. I haven't really talked about it with the doctors yet today, so we'll see.
How important was I mean, I don't know that anybody expects anyone to go 20-0 in the ACC, But how important was this win for your guys to not let one loss become two or?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Like, I don't know, it's like now because you have a good record, like, there's a reason you lose, right? I mean, what's, we're not trying to think of it that way. Like, we got outplayed by a good team at Wake Forest, and we didn't play our best. And if you don't play your best in a lot of these games, you're not gonna win. We really struggled defensively to guard them. And, today we didn't play great either offensively, but defensively we did. Defensively, we were on point. Like, this was hard. I mean, hold those guys at 50. That doesn't happen very much. So, just because it wasn't an aesthetically pleasing offensive game, and we're trying to figure out how to play a little bit. 17 turnovers. This is when you're proud of your kids, right? And then this is when you have a good team. If you can win scoring 80 and you can win scoring 51, that's when you have a good team. If you can win both ways. And this year we've been able to do that. So some years I've had to win a lot of these games, 55, 54, 51, 48, and sometimes the fans don't love that because it's slower, but that's your team. You kind of got to adjust to your personnel, what your team is good at. This year's team, we can score some when we're probably, when we have our full team. But we can also lock down and win some grinder games.
Coach, you've had bad luck with injuries your whole career, last year included. You were able to navigate losing Alex and still win. How frustrating is it when you lose Chase and you have everything rolling the way you did?
A little bit. I'm not going to lie, a little bit. Like, I woke up Sunday morning after beating Duke, really feeling good and excited for our guys, and then you kind of come in and you get some bad news, and it's like, it reminds you of how hard it is. I mean, it's just hard. 20 games, a lot of games. And it's hard to stay healthy. There's going to be some injuries, and so your kids have to adjust, and you've got to adjust. And if you're going to be really good, you got to have a lot of good players. It comes down to players a lot of times. And, we're trying to still figure it out with -2 guys a little bit. And I don't know if when those guys will be back. But, it obviously just your margin is smaller. But again, I'm just really happy for our guys, the way they fought it.
It seemed like Dylan's on-ball defense, he being able to switch some really good position.
He did a nice job. He's physical. We talked about it when we signed him, that he's a physical guard, right? He's tough. I think he's got a good spirit about him. He'll fight guys in a low post. He'll fight over screens. He's one of those competitive kids. And, for him to make a couple big plays, they're not guarding him because he's not shooting the ball as well right now. That'll come, as he plays more and as he gets more confidence and all those kinds of things. But he made some big shots, right? Like, I just kind of had to reassure him a little bit. Like at Wake, he got sideways, right? He took a couple shots that you're like, wait a minute, now you're not taking shots that we practice. They've got you a little sideways. You got to get, this is what I need you to do. At Timberay, give me a Timberay stat. He's got 1 turnover in 100 minutes of ACC play or something like that. I don't even know those things, right? Like, I knew he takes care of the ball. He's always taking care of the ball in practice. We chart all that stuff. So run your team, defend like crazy at the point, and get guys who can score shots. And if you got a crease, go attack. And he did that.
You didn't have to face Couture in the first meeting. What was the plan to defend him going into tonight?
He's a hard player to guard. I mean, he stretches them. He's fast off screens. He can shoot it. He's just good. I mean, try to stay connected as best you can. I thought we were average for a while, got better, and had to switch some to stay connected. But he's a handful. They're obviously a different team with him there.
Beetle, is he just sort of going a little too fast? Right?
Yeah, he's pressing, just going a little too fast. He wants to do so well. I mean, and the crazy thing is he's done better when he wasn't starting. He's done better coming off the bench and making some plays and guarding better. He's probably a little amped up. He cares. He wants to do well, but it's different, right? It is different when you're under the lights, and you got to make just sound basketball plays sometimes, and every once in a while he gets a little sped up and tries to do a little too much, and he needs to just just, you know, obviously the first play of second half, I was really upset with him because we talked about it at halftime. And I put him back out there as a starter, like, hey, man, just let's get through the second reversal, like just, and he kind of over dribbled on top of it, just, and didn't do what we practiced. And he knew it right when he did it, you know, and it's, you just gotta get it fixed. Gotta do what we practice. So he will. He's fine.
With Chase out, would you like to see Brevin drive to the basket a little bit more?
I want him to make the right basketball play. I want him to read the play and make the right play. So however he's being guarded, adjust.
Any more questions for Coach?
With Chase and Alec, I mean, do you feel like we will get them back at some point?
Yeah, we'll get him back at some point. Is it next week, maybe? Is it the week after? I don't know. I mean, they're both better than they were, you know. Alex is progressively getting better. He's been, the last week and a half, he's showed good improvement. Chase, you know, it's kind of been quick, so I mean, he's coming, but I don't know when it'll be just yet. All good?
Yes, sir.